Mhm.
All right. Despite what it says, it is not Shawn Mendes. It is Johnny.
Is it? No, yeah, it's Johnny. Hi. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man, listen, we're excited to have you. I'm Amy. We're here at Alt 99.7 in Columbia, South Carolina. You're
Mhm.
the tour is happening. Where are you currently?
Right now I'm in Wisconsin, but I used to live in Fort Mill, South Carolina, so I'm very excited to come over there.
Oh, dude, that's dope. That's like the
Yeah,
good side of Charlotte. You get the
I
South
know. I
Carolina perks.
graduated Fort Mill High School 2014.
Hey, welcome home then. We'll be excited to have you.
I'm excited to get back.
You will be here on in Charleston on September 2nd. And as you go on tour, man, I was looking at some of your tour dates. First of all, I've really romanticized like being on tour. For me, that seems like such a
Yeah.
great like you have your home base, then you get to go and you're a rock star in a town for the night, and then like you peace out before it gets problematic. Have you found that to be your kind of similar mindset or
Yeah, I mean, it's a wild thing always, like the I feel like people think touring is all the shows, but really a lot, like 97% of touring is spent off the stage. So I think the most important thing is when you're on tour with cool people and you and your team are very cool. And if you're on a tour like this one with, like Chase Huddy and Oliver Tree, like they're all really cool people. So it
yeah.
makes the touring experience kind of just feel like this wacky carnival circus in the best way possible.
All right, this
Um, but there's other tours where you go and you don't really see each other and you pass each other in the hallway and you're just kind of the stage part is cool, but then the rest of the tour is just really long and brutal. But this one doesn't feel like that. This one's pretty fun and we've been having a good time and everyone's really cool. And the shows have been awesome too. The shows are always good. That's the best part.
this is going to probably be a weird question. How are you traveling from like tour day to tour day? Are you flying or bus?
Yo, so the routing on this tour was planned for buses, but after COVID, buses are like crazy right now.
Okay.
And so I'm in a van. I'm in a Sprinter van. I think Oliver's flying, but we're freaking doing it old school. We're going in the van. Granted, it's a nice van. It's not the white candy van. It's a Sprinter van with a TV and stuff, but we're running and gunning. We're driving sometimes till 4 a.m. We're stopping in a hotel room like this one or an Airbnb along the way, and then we're going to have a good time at every show. And it's been great so far.
I love this.
Love a good van tour. Love it.
So this is I'm excited because I've been watching. We've been my boyfriend and I are stuck on this show Alone. Have you seen it on the
No,
History
I'm unfamiliar.
Okay, so they drop these people off in Canada in the wilderness, and there's like 8 contestants. They're all separated though; they're not together. It's not like Survivor, and they get to bring like 5 things or whatever, and they have to try to make it on their own. And they don't know whoever like goes the longest wins the prize, but they don't know when other people drop out until they go to drop out.
So
So
you're just kind of blindly continuing to do this until you're
yeah,
told that you're last.
yes, but I've become obsessed with this show and I've created a whole go bag. And so I think like on tour, like if you're going from place to place in a bus,
Mm.
I do not wish this for you whatsoever. But if you happen to break down in the middle of nowhere, do you think
My go bag.
yeah, like what would you put in your what do you want to keep in your go bag so that you're prepared?
And we're talking this is like I would be stranded scenario where like no one can help me or find me and I'm like trapped. Like no car can pick us up or something. Okay, so this is like a real go bag. This isn't like tour to go bag on like what I want from city to city. This is like survival.
Yeah.
Um Depending on my geographic location, definitely some warm clothes because it can get cold at night. Anywhere really it can get cold. In Los Angeles it can get fucking really cold at night. Sorry, I curse. But so probably like some sweatshirts and stuff. Maybe like a bunch of I don't even know, like protein bars or something. Maybe how many do I have?
You're we get the, we you could do like 5.
Okay,
That's
I'm
the
gonna pick five. So two. I need warm clothing for nighttime. I definitely need food and water, so I'm hoping that I have that. I'm just gonna knock those three out, the basics. Now, if I'm thinking of some like not survival stuff that I just like to have, for my fourth and fifth one, maybe a guitar, just pass
okay.
time. Who
Yeah.
knows? I can be out there for a year and just come back with a record. Um, oh God. What's like a necessity? Something to make fire. Yeah. Like a
So
blowtorch or something.
they have these. So I started making my own go bag, and I had like this little metal scraper that creates sparks, and I bagged up some lint. And you keep lint
Oh,
like
okay. I
on
see.
fire easily. So
Wait, so why are you making a to-go bag though? Are you a doomsdayist or something?
I didn't
Or
think
did
I
the
was.
show just inspire you?
The show just inspired me.
So
So we
like so like if you ever were to fly, say you and your partner are going to Hawaii or something, would you bring a go bag with you in case something went wrong?
I would want to, but some of the
Okay.
stuff I have in here, like I have a pocket knife.
Oh, they
You know,
won't let you fly.
yeah, I don't know if
I
you can
see.
fly with that.
So
Uh,
where are you bringing this go bag? Like on a road trip?
that would be my that would be my plan. Or like if the apocalypse happens, like we have zip ties in there, um,
Yeah. For the
compass.
zombies.
Yeah, yeah.
You can zip tie them up. Because
It's
I never have gone to the core because I know that doomsday prepping is a thing, but I am uneducated or maybe just ignorant in like I don't know what they're prepping for. Like what is the hypothetical disaster? Like or like the nuclear fallout or something. Like what is supposed to happen?
Man, I could put you onto a few things. So you got to check out that show Alone on the History Channel.
I'm definitely checking that show out.
There's Keep Breathing on Netflix. That's like a fiction show. You know, the chick
Okay.
gets stranded. And then there is a
Yellow Jackets. I don't know if you've seen it. It's a great
oh,
show.
dude, that's such a good show. All right,
Yeah.
hold on. Let's talk about your shows. What can
Okay.
people expect from Johnny in a live show?
Um I mean, for sure, if you're coming to an Oliver Tree Johnny Huddy show, it's going to be a great time. But for me, in my set, I think you can just expect to have fun, no matter who you are, what age or gender or anything. Like I think I have a pretty wide range of. Doesn't really matter if you're young or old. Like there's some people like I'm not saying any names, but like I'll go to a show and I'll be like, oh yeah, like a 35-year-old or like a 40-year-old couldn't really vibe with this. This is for like young girls or something. And I don't think my set's like that. I think that like it's inviting to everyone. It's a good time for everyone. There's a little something for everybody in there.
Dude, your music is so like funky and fun. And I was trying to
Mm.
think, what would you like one word to describe yourself as an artist? Do you have that?
Uh, I definitely got some funk and some spice in there, but then I also go like weird sad boy alternative too sometimes, which I hate even saying. I used to call it love boy pop when I was younger, and I didn't know what to say in interviews. I said that, and at one point I said I made carnival funk music.
Oh, okay.
Uh, But now I feel like the last couple of years I've not moved away from the funk stuff, but I just haven't put too many funk inspired things out. So I don't know if I fully fit just in the funky category. I think it's more just like indie pop, indie alternative now. It falls into that umbrella. Like
I
anything, even the funky stuff can fall into the just, indie pop, indie alternative genre.
I was talking about for your creative process, a line that you have is first thought, best thought. And I was thinking, like, does that mean for you, like, you don't get too, like, you're not too much of a perfectionist in the sense where you're like overthinking and over criticizing your creative process and what you're digging?
Yeah, so I definitely don't think there's anything wrong with being a perfectionist because I can be a perfectionist when it comes to finishing something or something just not hitting my ear right. I can definitely do that. It's more a sense of like in the room that day, without sounding like pretentious. Like if I'm making a song, um, the whole beautiful thing to music to me is just chasing what gets you excited, right? If you go in a room, like I mean, there is rooms in LA where like a bunch of writers get together and they're like, let's come up with a bunch of really cool, catchy song titles and then pick the best one. And that's like what we're gonna write about. And that
Yeah.
just to me, it seems like you're thinking too much. At the end of the day, I just like if I'm excited about something and something gets me excited and I'm juiced about it and it just flows off the top of my head and it's just coming out and I'm not thinking too hard about it. And I'm not thinking about trying to be cool or what I'm trying to say or if I'm trying to sound freaking cool or if it's for a radio or whatever. Uh, it's my like theory that other people will feel the same way about it because if it gets me excited, it should get someone that likes things that I make also excited. And so that's kind of like what I mean. It's just like whatever I feel first, I just like to run full speed at it and break through the wall instead of like having the thought or idea and being like, oh, let me think of a bunch of other ideas and then pick the best one. That's just my creative process. There's a lot of different ways to do it, but I like just running full speed ahead on what gets me juiced.
How do you know when a project is finished?
Um, it kind of like lets you know itself. I haven't done like too many really full length projects. Um, but you just know. You just know. It depends on your process. Like I said, my process is different from some other people's, right? Some people might have it all the way laid out and they're like, oh, this is where I want to start. And this is I kind of write a bunch of songs and then I'll start maybe 60% in being like, oh, maybe there's like a storyline here. Like this is kind of, this song kind of talks about this song kind of talks about that, this song kind of like, maybe if I put this here and put this here and put this here, now I should write like this type of song to fill in this blank, and then maybe I need to make this kind of song. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I have a just scrambled eggs brain. I'm like very ADHD, but I think in my case, it's done when you have enough songs that make sense. I don't make too many duds. What I mean by that is some people, when they're making a record or an EP or a project, they might make 20 or 30 songs and pick the best 12 to make a record. I don't have that case too many times. I like we just talked about. I can't really make a song unless it gets me super juiced and excited anyway. I'm not the guy that can walk in a room and just write something to write it. I have to be feeling something, which could be a blessing or a curse depending on how you look at it. So my albums or project or EP or album, whatever it is, I feel like they're just done when they're done. Like when I write that 12th song or if I write that 6th song, I'm like, cool, it's done now.
You one of your songs that we're playing is Take It Back with Beck, obviously. What was it like
Yeah,
to work with
you might have heard of him. He's a small new upcoming artist. He's upcoming. He's
like
really on the come up, man.
people are really gonna love him when they get to know Beck, they're
Yeah,
really
when they
gonna be
figure out this guy, he's on to something new.
he is like an alt icon, and you're
Yeah.
working side by side with him, where you kind of like at some points where you're like, oh shit, this is Beck right here.
Yeah, I felt that way a little more when we just toured across Europe, where I was like, whoa, I'm like touring with my idol. But like, and I'll do serious. Like, I know I was just playing around, but Beck is like the blueprint for someone like me. Like honestly, in some ways, like if him or a couple other people didn't exist, like people like me or someone that makes music like me really wouldn't exist right now. I don't think, at least. And he's forever changing from 1994 on. Every record's different than the last one, and seems like he's never scared to do something different, because I feel like every album he's ever put out at the time that he's put it out was not what was really playing on the radio then, like with every single stage of his process. And as a kid, I always thought that was really cool. And then growing up into an adult who kind of does this thing or wanted to do this thing, I idolized what he did even more from just a different perspective. And so, to answer your question, for all that to come full circle later on, when I got to work with him, was really cool. There's no other way to answer it other than it was freaking cool. Like he's a legend, and I only wanted a verse from him. I was like, hey, I just need a verse, man. Or no, I was texting. I was like, hey, just need a verse, man. And then when I got it back, and he's like, I added guitars and I sang on the chorus and I sang on the pre-chorus. I did a chord change in the verse, and then I did this thing at the end where I had these extra vocals. I was like a little kid in a candy store kind of, because it's like he didn't need to do that. And so for him to be that excited or creatively inspired over a record that came out of my brain and was my idea, and for him to go above and beyond on it, that meant that he really liked it. That was like the biggest cosign to me that I could ever have, probably. I don't know if anything else could mean that much to me. It was really cool, to have him copy my same flow that I did in the first verse, because he wanted to keep it cohesive. Just little things like that. For me, it was really, I was kind of awestruck a bit, because he didn't need to do that. And it was really cool that he did.
Do you know how people have kids and they'll be like, I love them all the same, but like we all know that they have a favorite? Do you have
Yeah.
a favorite child, a favorite song of yours?
I mean, I have a couple. I don't love them all the same. I mean, kids is probably a little different, right? Which I also think is a lie. I think parents do have a favorite kid secretly deep down in the pit of their stomach. Uh,
They know which kid
like
is their
I
favorite.
don't. One doesn't like jump to my head of like, you know, because I they're all different, but there is ones that I'm like, oh yeah, man. Like when I play this one live, like when I play Tombstone Gray live, I'm like, oh yeah, like did this song get 100 million streams? Like no, but man, I love this song. Um, Take It Back, before even Beck got on it, I really liked. Like I like all my songs really, but there is a few of them that I'm just like, oh yeah, these feel cool, and some that people haven't heard yet. My new one, Strawberry Chainsaw, though, that I just put out, I really like a lot. It's probably one of my favorite songs I've made in a long time, and I like that one.
So, well, we don't want to keep you too long. You can go enjoy Wisconsin. We're huge fans of you here at Alt 99.7. We're
Thank you.
excited. Charleston, September 2nd, Labor Day weekend. It's going to be like down the beach Labor Day weekend. You're going to have a good time, man.
Do you think anyone's gonna come? Is anyone gonna come? Who's listening to this?
Johnny, listen, you come back here anytime, all right? You're cool as fuck,
I'm
man.
down. Thanks. You as well.
Well, safe travels. You are prepared if something should happen. You have your go bag in your head, and
I
we'll
got my
talk
go
to
bag.
you. All right, later, man.
All right, later. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.